Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm an Auckland wedding photographer at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. This week, I'm joined by Melissa and we're diving into her dreamy destination wedding in Italy and chatting through her whole story from how she met her husband online in New Zealand to now building a life together in the UK. We chat about what it really looks like to plan a destination wedding, how they found their venue by accident and instantly knew it was the one, and why creating an unforgettable experience for their guests was at the heart of every decision. Melissa shares the magic of their 3-day Italian wedding celebration, from pizza and Prosecco night on arrival to their full wedding day in 34-degree heat, and a relaxed pasta party to wrap it all up. We also get into the realities of destination wedding logistics, budgeting, and how leaning on trusted vendor recommendations made everything feel seamless. There are so many thoughtful ideas in this one, from surprising guests as witnesses during the ceremony to doing extra portraits the day after so you don't miss time with your people. Yes, this wedding is in Italy, but is still very much a Kiwi wedding. And as you may or may not know, a lot of Kiwi and Aussie vendors chase summer around the world and do the wedding busy seasons, which is summer, down here in the Southern Hemisphere, and then go up to the Northern Hemisphere for their summer. I know a lot of photographers that do this, and also hair and makeup artists, videographers, content creators. It is the dream life. I've shot a couple in Europe, but always keen if you're looking for a photographer. Melissa had the incredibly talented Louisa shoot her day. And yeah, I just thought I would mention that if you're thinking of having a wedding overseas, but you still want to work with Kiwi vendors, then that is always an option too. All right, let's get into it. Enjoy episode 138 with Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. So excited to chat to you all about your wedding.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
So good. So to get started with, if you could just tell us a bit about you and your partner, how you guys met, and yeah, your life together.
We met in 2018. We actually met on Tinder. It's a bit of a Tinder love story. And so Adam was living in New Zealand. He's from the UK, and I was obviously living in New Zealand at the time, and he lived there for 7 years. And in May 2014, we moved to the UK. So we're currently living in the UK. But yeah, what we like to do, travel's a big thing for us, and while living in the UK especially, we're just trying to tick off as much as we can and see as many places. So yeah, we've always got a next holiday booked, and yeah, we love food. Like, food's a huge thing for us, so going out and trying new foods is something that we love. And we really enjoy going to the gym together. We were doing a bit of golf together. Adam's really into golf, so in New Zealand we were playing golf, but I've been a bit slack in the UK on that.
So much fun. So you guys were together for a while and then got engaged. Can you tell us a bit about the proposal story?
Yeah, so we were in Europe on a holiday, and we'd actually been to a friend's wedding in Spain. It was towards the end of our holiday. We were staying in Marbella, like near Malaga in Spain, and that was like the last few days of our wedding. And I was kind of thinking, sorry, not our wedding, our the last few days of our holiday. And I was thinking, oh, like, I kind of had an inkling it was going to happen on this holiday, but Adam's parents came over from the UK to have a few days with us. So I thought, okay, I'm not sure if it will happen now. And I remember one day, him and his dad went and hired a car, and they're like, oh, we'll have a day trip out to this like little town called Nerja, which is beautiful. And so we went there, and like Adam was acting really weird that day, and I'd actually messaged some of my friends being like, oh, like, he's acting strange. I think today's, going to be the day. And we went there, and it's called like the Balcony of Europe. So it's like this really beautiful pier that sort of like looks over the water, but there was a lot of people there, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, it's not going to be here in front of everyone. But we ended up going for a walk, and underneath that was a walkway through the water, and it was like the most crystal clear blue water you've ever seen. And yeah, he like went to have a photo with me. His parents were taking a photo, and then he got down on one knee, and yeah.
Oh, so special. Sounds like such an incredible spot and kind of surprised you a little bit as well.
Yeah, still had a little bit of a surprise, which was nice.
Oh, so good. Had you been one of those girls that dreamed about your wedding day? Did you know what you wanted? And yeah, what were those kind of first steps? Where did you start with planning?
Like, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. We kind of were like in the process of thinking we were going to move overseas, so I thought it was is most likely to be a destination wedding. Either way, you know, his friends and family would have to travel to New Zealand, or my friends and family in New Zealand would have to travel to the UK or Europe. So a neutral ground was going to be best. When we did start planning, we just both love Italy. Adam's a quarter Italian, and that was like the first European country I ever went to. That was with Adam, and like we love their food, we love the weather, the people. So that just kind of felt like the natural step for us. We hadn't like even considered the UK or New Zealand. It was just kind of like we were both on the same page for Italy.
Beautiful. It's one of my favorite countries too. It's hard to beat, really. So
I
incredible.
know, it's the best.
Yeah. How was that process, finding your venue? Did you go and look at a few? Did you kind of know what area you wanted? Yeah.
We had kind of thought most likely around Tuscany or like the Amalfi Coast sort of area. And we planned a trip. So we'd moved over to the UK in May, and we'd planned a trip in June. It was my birthday, and it was like the first like summer birthday I've ever had. So that was really exciting. So we thought, oh, we'll plan a trip to Italy and go and just like have a look at venues. And I'd booked in like a few places to see before. And actually, the one that we ended up booking, Niki's resort, we just booked that as a hotel. So I just found that on booking.com. I was like, oh, this is a beautiful hotel. I thought we'd base ourselves there and hire a car and every day sort of go out and have a look at different venues. When we got there, I had seen that they did weddings, which was just like a surprise. And I was like to the owner, I was like, oh, do you do weddings? And he ended up like taking us in a golf buggy, like all around the property and showing us the whole place. And we were both just like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And like, so us, it just felt really relaxed. And the people they were like working there were just like so friendly, so welcoming. And every day we'd still go out and look at other places, and we'd come back to Niki's and we're just like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing, and like just felt like us.
Looked so incredible. I mean, almost everywhere in Italy does, but yeah,
Yeah,
finding
it's
the
hard
right
not to.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. What were your kind of top priorities for the wedding, the most important elements for you?
I think because everyone, so we had 70 guests, and every single person had traveled from another country. So we had people from all over the world, and I just wanted them to have a good time. Like, that was our number one, is that everyone just enjoys themselves. They've all traveled so far, and it's expensive to come like to a foreign country. And so I just wanted everyone to like have the best time. And then for us personally, well, maybe more for me, was like the photos. I just wanted something that we can like look back on, you know, for years to come, and something that wasn't just like following what's trendy now. Like, it's always going to be like modern classic, was sort of the vibe that we wanted, like down to earth and relaxed, and that you can like look back in like 30 years and it still is classic, if you know what I mean. So that was like a big thing. And yeah, like my dress, obviously like that's you like the one time in your life you're going to wear that, so it's like really exciting. And it wasn't what I had expected to go for, but I think it ended up like fitting like the venue and the vibe like perfectly, so I was really happy with that.
And yeah, that's my next question about the dress. How did you find that whole process? Did you go shopping at a few places? And yeah, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so before we moved, I actually went to Trish Ping with my mum and my sister-in-law, because I thought leaving that we're probably going to get married while we were living in the UK, and so I still wanted to have that experience with them. So I'd gone there and tried them on, and that was really fun, like a nice little girls' day. And I really liked sort of a fitted bodice, but like an A-line skirt, and that was kind of what I had in my mind. Then when I moved, I went to some places in London with one of my bridesmaids, and kind of like had not expected on that day to, put a deposit down on a dress. We went to Grace Loves Lace and tried them on, and they were a lot more fitted because I thought by then we'd booked in Italy and a big A-line skirt is going to be way too hot. It was about 34 degrees on the wedding day. So I was like, I can't have that. So I needed to go for something lighter and more fitted. And I looked at this dress online because I had a lot of their dresses and I really liked that one. And then I tried it on and I was like, really liked it. And then they do the whole like veil and get you to put the shoes on and give you some fake flowers. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I love this. But I was like, I just didn't want to make that decision like straight away. So we did go somewhere else. But the whole time I was trying dresses on at the other place, I was thinking about that one. So I was like, oh no, it's a sign. So yeah, I did go back and put a deposit on it.
Oh, so good. Had that moment you found the one. Love it.
It's scary though, because you think like, what if it goes out of style, or because it was quite like different and it had big bow and probably not like traditional at all. So I was a bit nervous, but every few months I would go back and look in my photos and be like, no, I still like it.
Oh, so good. Definitely a good sign then. And you guys had a bridal party as well. How did you go with choosing them? Was that quite easy for you?
Yeah, so I had Renee as my honor, so we were friends from uni halls. And then I had Tegan, who I met through nursing, so like from work, and then Kim, who was a high school friend. So those three have like stuck by me in different phases of life. I've had quite a long health journey, like lots of ups and downs being unwell, and they've always been there. They've always been at the end of the phone. And so I couldn't like imagine the day without them. And then Adam also had three groomsmen, unfortunately, but fortunately for them, his best man couldn't be there on the day. They just had a baby. So he had like a mix of UK friends and New Zealand friends. So it's kind of like everyone coming together. So yeah, it was easy to choose who I wanted there for me because like they had been there always.
And how about your guest list? How did you go with that? I guess being a destination wedding, like you said, everyone was traveling, but yeah, was it kind of hard to narrow down that list still?
That was for me like the worst part of wedding planning. I found the guest list so hard. And like, you're thinking, oh, but like if you have this one, you've got to have that one. And, family wants certain people there. And I did find that really hard because we were capped on the number from the venue as well. And with the venue, you had to book all the accommodation. So it was, you were quite strict on the numbers in that way. So yeah, I did find it really hard. And then obviously because we were planning like a year out, which for most weddings is normal, but people may not have their leave approved, or they may not know exactly if they can come, or babies or other weddings or other commitments. So yeah, it was quite challenging to book a destination wedding when you don't know what people are going to be doing in a year. So some people that we would have loved to have been there, unfortunately, couldn't make it, but all for, very good reasons for them.
How many did you end up having on the day?
We had 70, so we were at our cap, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great that so many were able to travel, but yeah, definitely tricky navigating that and yeah, booking big trips from so far out as well. Yeah.
Definitely. And we just said to each other, like, I can't believe that all of these people traveled to Italy to be here with us. So we were just like so grateful for that. That was amazing.
Incredible. And yeah, can you tell us a bit about the big day, maybe that kind of week leading up to it? Yeah, run us through how it all went and any highlights, favorite moments.
Yeah. So the week leading up, so Adam and I had actually driven to Europe from the UK, because we had so much stuff. We were like, this is just going to be so hard to send it over or take like a flight with like a million bags. So we decided to have a road trip. And I think that was quite a nice way to sort of like get into the wedding mindset. So we had stopped along the way in France and a few other places in Italy. And then I met like lots of my girlfriends in Florence, and we had my hens there. So that was really fun to do it a few days before the wedding, because they'd all like come over from New Zealand. And like if I had it months ago, they wouldn't have been able to be there. So that was really fun. Like had the best time with them. Like the girls like did such an amazing job. So that was so much fun. And then we went from there to a villa about half an hour away from the wedding venue. And that's where like I'd met my parents. I hadn't seen them in nearly a year. And them and my younger brother and us stayed in a really nice villa, and Adam's family would come visit and the bridesmaids would come visit, and we just did all the last minute things, but just had a nice chill time at the pool and just trying to like, you know, get all prepared and relax after the hens do. And then we all went to the wedding. So it was a 3-day sort of event. And the first day, everyone arrived that evening, and we had a pizza and prosecco party. So that was a really nice way to like welcome everyone. And we had a gelato cart that came, and they did like a little bit of a fun thing and like got us to like scoop gelato for each other, and was, you know, just like very Italian. And then it was the wedding, and then the third day we had like a pasta party, just like a post-wedding event. So yeah, it was really, really nice to do it over the 3 days, and especially when you catching up with people that you haven't seen in like over a year, it was took the pressure off speaking to them all on the day. But in terms of the actual wedding, honestly, it went better than I could have expected. There was like nothing that went wrong or anything like that. It was like exceeded both of our expectations. I was a bit nervous because we didn't have a like an on the day coordinator, because the venue kind of said that they would do that. And I was just like a bit nervous, and I'm not like, I'm more type B than type A, so I may have overlooked a few little details, but the bridesmaids just like stepped into action and sorted everything out. So they like took all of that away from me, which was incredible. And like for me, the favorite moments, there was just like so many. I can't even describe, but like just like getting ready with them. And we all love Taylor Swift, so like that was like the last song. We always like had a little dance before the aisle, and walking down the aisle, I had both my parents with me, so mum and dad like walked me down the aisle, and just, I don't know, just seeing Adam's like face when I got to him was just like so special. Like I'll just never forget that. And the whole time throughout the ceremony, we're like all sweating because it's like 34 degrees, and he just like kept telling me like I look beautiful, and it was just like amazing. And I had one of my high school friends, Amelia, was our celebrant, and that was so cool because it was like someone we knew, and she just like made it really special and personable. And because we were getting married in Italy, we had to also get legally married in the UK, which we did afterwards, because I wanted to treat Italy like the actual wedding and not have already done it. And so we had a bit of fun with the ceremony, and Amelia put 2 pins under 2 random chairs. And then when we got to the signing part, she just said like, have a look under your chair. And those 2 people were our witnesses. And so that was like a little surprise for them. And so that was good. And then what else? I loved all the speeches. They were just amazing. We just did like one long table. So we were in the middle with our family and the bridal party, and then friends. So that was cool. And we decorated our own cakes. That was like very Italian. And then just like getting to party and like dance with everyone was, yeah, so much fun. I just had the best time. It was great.
Oh, sounds like, yeah, such an incredible few days, and just, yeah, such a special place as well. And yeah, all those little highlights. So cool to hear. Yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit about the just like logistics of planning a destination wedding and everything after. And I think it's cool for people to hear about. Obviously, we have a lot of Kiwi weddings on this podcast, but it can be Kiwi as in the person too. And destination, I think, yeah, we see so many of these beautiful European weddings in the magazines and everything, and it seems so unattainable. And obviously, it is expensive for people to fly from New Zealand anywhere. But yeah, just kind of hearing about how you did that is so cool and how it turned out. And I think, yeah, a lot of people will travel because who doesn't want to go to Italy? Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
think they're more likely to go there than the UK, so it's a
yeah.
good hook to get people to come.
Exactly. So good to make a holiday out of it. But yeah, we'll get into some of that after. But what did you find like the hardest part about the whole wedding planning process? Is there anything you look back on and regret or would have done a little differently?
Not really, to be honest. I found it initially quite hard to find vendors, and I actually hadn't realized how many Kiwis and Aussies do like the summer in New Zealand and then the summer
Mm.
in Europe. So once I had figured that out, it made it so much easier. And I also just recommend if people are going to be doing a destination wedding or even probably just local as well, if you find someone that you like and you're going to book them, so for example, I'd booked Paige to do my makeup, and then I just asked her if she knew anyone else that she recommends, and that was like really helpful because one, then they've all worked together, and two, it's someone that they've seen the work of and that they likely to recommend. So once I'd kind of figured out who I was going to have, that made it a lot easier. The logistics of getting everything over there was obviously challenging, and that's why we decided to drive. And but other than that, there wasn't really anything that I regret. There might be like a few like small details that I might have changed about the day, maybe getting some dancing lessons and not kind of just like teaching yourself from YouTube. But overall, like that's just part of it, and you can't control absolutely everything. You just got to kind of like relax and enjoy the day as well. Like the decisions are made, so you just got to go with
Yeah, so good. Sounds like you had a great mindset about it all. So
it.
good. And that's the best way to be. Did you guys have a set wedding budget if you're happy to talk about what that was or, yeah, how you found that whole side of things?
Yeah, it was a little bit fluid, but our budget was around 28,000 um pounds. So it's about 63,000 New Zealand dollars. So that's what we spent, and we didn't really want to go over that, and we did stick to our budget. One of my friends had sent me a really good Excel spreadsheet. There was like a good budget tracker, and as I said before, I'm quite type B, but Adam's very type A on spreadsheets. Like that's his thing. So he was really good at keeping us in line. But I do just want to say that that was the cost over the 2 days. So that was like the first day of the pizza party and the Prosecco party. So like all the food and drinks for that. It was people's breakfast who were obviously staying on site, and we had subsidized their accommodation. So they paid most of their accommodation, but we did subsidize it a little bit. And then they got lunch on the wedding day, and then obviously all the wedding food, and we had an open bar. So that's quite I know that that's the norm in New Zealand, but in the UK, it's normally a cash bar at weddings. And I was like, for me, that was like a big no because I was like, everyone's traveled. People from New Zealand would kind of like have the expectation that that is the norm. So we did do the open bar, and then any like, yeah, main meals were included. And then the guests, if they wanted to do the pasta party on the third day, they paid for that. So for them, once they arrived there, the only thing that they had to cover was the pasta party dinner on the third night, but we kind of covered everything else. So I personally think we got a lot more for our money than you would in New Zealand.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's quite impressive everything you got for that much. I mean, that's kind of a pretty standard budget here as well. But yeah, you definitely got a lot more for your money there. And yeah, cool different experiences and having it, spread over those 3 days as well. And did you guys go on honeymoon? I guess you were already in a destination, but did you plan something else or still planning to?
Yeah, so we didn't want to like leave after our family and friends were there. So we ended up going with my parents, my two brothers, and my sister-in-law to Sardinia for a few days. So we flew there from the airport that was near the venue, had a few days with them, and honestly, that was amazing because my sister-in-law Amy did all of like the planning and on the day, like organizing everything. So I was so grateful because I was just like over making decisions by then.
Yeah.
And so we had just like a nice few days chilling in Sardinia, then flew back to Italy, picked up our car, and we did a road trip on the way back. And we went to Champagne in France for a few days, which was amazing. Like, highly recommend going there. Like, that was just so cool going to the Champagne houses. And then that was kind of like our trip. We'd used up all our annual leave. So we do want to do something bigger, like a bigger honeymoon, so to speak, but it'll probably be like a anniversary by then, so something in the future. But we were, as you say, like already overseas and had like the best time anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, oh, that sounds amazing. Sardinia looks incredible too. And that's cool that you got to do a bit and spend that quality time with your family while they were over as
Yeah.
well. Was there any sort of helpful resources or things that you used during the wedding planning process with finding vendors or inspiration? And you kind of mentioned that you had a few Kiwi vendors as well. So I'd love to hear about, your kind of process with all of that and finding people.
And to be honest, mainly Instagram and Pinterest were like
Yeah,
the go-tos.
so
And
good.
I was, amazing. I was so lucky because one of my bridesmaids, Tegan, we called her the creative director. She honestly was like amazing on designing anything, and just so good. Her and her fiance Ash helped us so much, and they did most of like the stationery and designing, and so between them and Pinterest and Instagram, that's how I kind of found everything. The Kiwi vendors, like, I hadn't anticipated the wedding to be so heavily Kiwi and Aussie, and it just ended up like that because I feel like the style in New Zealand is like, just so like relaxed and beautiful and clean. And I don't know, when I was like doing research on like more local or European vendors, I was kind of just like, I don't know, the style is just very different and almost a little bit outdated compared to weddings in New Zealand. So I think, as I said before, I found Paige. So I think she was the second thing I'd booked, like second vendor I'd booked for the wedding. When I was struggling to find someone to do our hair, I'd asked her if she knew of anyone. And she recommended Tina from Hair to Wed, and that was so good because like they'd done so many weddings together in Queenstown and Wanaka, and they were used to working with each other, and like it just, honestly, they were so easy to deal with, so that was perfect. And then with the photographer, I found that really hard because I don't know, I was just like, there's so many options, and you're just like scrolling through, and I'd met a few and I kind of narrowed it down to two, and I was really struggling to make a decision on those two. And I ended up going with Louisa, who was fab, and Paige had recommended Louisa as well. So the three were like a little dynamic trio there, and they, so used to working together. So everything just felt so natural. It wasn't like awkward on the day that you had to introduce people. They had already, met each other. And then I had a content creator, which honestly, amazing. Like, hands down, would recommend having a content creator because they're just like capturing all the little snippets and things that you don't see on the day. They've just like, you get all these videos the next day. And it was just like, that was like some of the best money we spent. And both her and Louisa did the pizza party as well. So that was really useful because they had met each other there, and then they were like fine on the wedding day. So super easy. And then for florals, I had Form Florals, and she's from Tasmania. I think she's now based in Melbourne. And so that was another Kiwi Aussie. And then obviously I said before, our celebrant, so Amelia, who's my friend from the South Island, so she does weddings in South Canterbury. So that was like all the kind of like on the day vendors. But then obviously my wedding dress was Australian, Grace Loves Lace, and my second dress was from Asia, so that was Australian as well. And so overall, it was a very heavily Kiwi Aussie dominated wedding just by chance because I much prefer the style and I kind of knew what I was going to get on the day.
Yeah, I love that. So good. Europe has incredible, talented people as well, but I don't know, you just kind of click with people from our little area of the world, and we have so much
Definitely.
talent here as well. So, so cool that, yeah, you could incorporate that. And, it's part of your story as well. So, yeah, very cool. And, yeah, I know Louise is amazing, beautiful work. And yeah, like you say, a lot of vendors do kind of chase some around the world. So do the big Europe stint and then back to New Zealand or Aussie for summer. Yeah, so it's cool that you could utilize some of those.
Definitely. I was like, I want a job like this. Like, I want to be
Yeah.
able to just do that.
So good. I don't know if it's as glamorous as it sounds, all the travel
Probably
involved,
not.
but it is pretty cool, like days to be a part of, definitely. Yeah, you've given some amazing advice already. Is there anything else that you would say to a couple planning their wedding at the moment?
Yeah, I would say, stick to what both of you want. I know that's quite generic or cliche, but honestly, when you're planning a wedding, you don't realize how many other people have opinions on your day. So just stay true to what you want and, what you want your wedding to be like. Because everyone's going to have their things, and it can be really overwhelming when you're constantly having people saying, I want this, or can we do this? So just kind of like focus on what's most important for you too. Obviously, it's not as not viable for everyone, but for me and for Adam, we found like doing the 3-day event or just even a multi-day wedding was so helpful, because if it is a destination, and this is probably more specific for destination weddings, but people you haven't seen for a long time, they've coming all the way over, you want to spend time with them, and just having one day to do that is not enough to catch up with everyone. So having multiple days to see everyone and have like quality time with them was really useful. And it just kind of like takes the pressure off the actual day. And then also just like reaching out to your vendors and asking for recommendations, because I think that made the day go a lot smoother. Everyone's sort of on the same page, knew each other, and things like, you can be flexible with what what you want. Like for us, we wanted some photos that were not just on site. Like we wanted some more like city chic type photos as well, but we didn't want to do a first look, and we didn't want to be leaving the venue on the day. So we got Louisa on the third day to come with us to one of the closest towns, and we did more photos there. So I think there's like ways to get around things and make it work for you. So if there's something you want, like just try and see if there's ways that you can make it work without compromising like what's important to you. Because for us, I really wanted to have, I didn't want to do a first look because I wanted to see Adam's reaction, like when I came down the aisle. Like that was like a really important thing for me. So I think, yeah, there's different ways that you can do things. So don't follow the trends and just do what you want to do.
Yeah, I love that. Such great advice. Just thinking a bit outside the box, or yeah, you don't have to have the same sort of timeline or anything as everyone else, and having it across the sort of 3 days as well, and getting that quality time with people. That's such a great idea. And yeah, interesting that you did photos the next day as well. That's a great way to approach it. Another option if you don't want to leave your guests for so long. So good. What is married life like now? Do you feel like you got any post-wedding blues after the wedding?
Married life's great. It's, yeah, it just like if most day to day feels quite similar, but it's just nice to have that security, and you've had the wedding, and yeah, it's just like makes everything feel a lot more real. So yeah, that was great. I wouldn't say post-wedding blues, so to speak, but I had also been training for the London Marathon. So I did that in April, and then we got married in June. And I guess by the time I'd reached the wedding, there was nothing more to plan. I just felt a bit like, oh, what do I do now? Because I'd spent so much of my time either just running or planning weddings. It's kind of weird to have nothing hovering over you. We did have our like legal ceremony in July, but that was very, very low key in comparison.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I think definitely there's some bit of a come down after working towards these big
Definitely.
moments for so long. Yeah, it's been lovely to chat to you today. Is there anything else that we missed or you wanted to mention before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think I've kind of covered everything. I think just, yeah, have the best time if you are planning a wedding. Don't rush it, enjoy the process. It's like only once that you're going to be doing this. And I just, yeah, hope that everyone who is listening or planning a wedding has the best time.
I think, people get a lot out of this episode, and so many have considered, like, oh, should we just go to Europe and do it? And you guys did. Obviously, living in the UK, you're a little bit closer already. But yeah, I think so helpful for people to hear about the experience of what it is like planning a Italian wedding. And it's going to be super helpful. So thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem. I do hope it is helpful. And I have had a couple of people message me, obviously, since the venues like posted some of our stuff, just asking questions. So if anyone listening does want to ask me anything or has any questions about planning a wedding, destination, Italy, anything like that, I'm always happy to have a chat.
Amazing. Very generous of you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Lovely to meet you.